Yes, Rishabh, all set. We are live on YouTube as well. Yeah, Rishabh, start.
Good evening, everyone. I hope I'm audible to everyone who has joined the meeting. In case if anyone is having any technical issue, you can mention it in the chat box so that we can assist you. All right. Good evening, everyone. I'm Rushabh Cheregar. I'm associated with Pharma Literati. First of all, I would like to thank all the dignitaries for taking time from their busy schedule and for supporting us over here. I would also like to thank Professor Krishna Iyer, sir, who is the principal of Bombay College of Pharmacy, for supporting us, and also Mr. Nitin Maniyar, sir, who is the honorary secretary of the Indian Pharmaceutical Associations. To begin with, today, in the first part, Mr. Vijay Shivpuje, sir, who is from Pharma Literati, would be giving a short introduction about the course, followed by a short address by Principal Sir Professor Krishna Iyer. And after that, we'll have a speech from our today's guest, Mr. Dr. Manoj Jadhav, sir, who is the founder and CEO of Echa Therapeutics. I'd like to hand over Mr. Vijay Shivpuje, sir, so that he can introduce everyone to our course.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Rishabh, and a very warm welcome to each one of you for this course on fundamentals of global drug regulatory affairs. I'm Vijay Shivpuje. I'm here on behalf of Pharma Literati as a course coordinator. This course has been conducted by Pharma Literati in collaboration with Bombay College of Pharmacy and Indian Pharmaceutical Association, MSV Maharashtra State Branch. I'm here to brief you about the course, what we are going to do with the course, what we are going to learn during this course, as well as the kind of participant that we have. So that all these things would be I'll be sharing right here. To start with, this course, as I mentioned, is a 2-month online certificate course specially designed by the industry experts for the students, as well as considering the needs of the industry professionals as well. This course actually is for the global drug regulatory efforts, considering the needs of I would say the industries from life sciences domain, not only from the pharma, but medical devices, biologicals, herbal, Ayurveda, or startup drug device combination kind of stuff. So we have got a kind of an interesting story about this particular course, because we wanted to have this course long back, but unfortunately we were not sure whether for an online course whether we would be getting participants or not, especially when we see a lot of content that is coming online actually. But then, and to start with, we also wanted to make it a bit different from what is already available as such, and that's when we had this discussion, and let us make it global. Actually, that's how, based on the suggestion of Dr. Clara Fernandez, we made it as a global drug regulatory affairs course. Now, so this is a 2 months course, and when we started a month back, we were not sure how to frame the contents as well. There was a lot of brainstorming that was involved with various stakeholders, including the faculties, including the students, including the industry professionals as well. And we have divided this course into 7 different aspects, or what we call as 7 different modules as such. And we have tried to incorporate the basic fundamental things which are essential for a drug regulatory affairs professional. But beyond that, these are the things which are also very important to be understood by the other stakeholders of the drug regulatory affairs, be it a drug discovery scientist, a formulation scientist, an analytical scientist, or anyone who is involved into production, or even in few cases IP as well. We also have one specific module 6, which is for the US specific scenario, as well as the patent related things. And of course, being a patent expert, it's just not from my end I included these, but this was based on some suggestions that we got from the industry experts, that many a times the drug regulatory affairs specialists, they don't understand the certifications or how it actually works with respect to US certification, that we have incorporated into it. And as I mentioned, when we started a month back with the registrations, that point of time, we were not very confident what kind of response we would get. And I'm pretty, and because we also mentioned it as a global drug regulatory affairs, but I'm very happy to inform you that actually we got a very nice response. And these are some of the participant profiles that we actually have got. We got Indian pharma companies who are participating here, Sun Pharma, Dr. Reddy's, Unichem, Biocon. We also have Global Pharma. I have one of my friends from Medocomi, Cyprus. Also, we have one participation from Lily Pharma, India. We also have participation from Elanco Animal Health, which is into animal health kind of products. Also, a couple of startups, and we were very happy to onboard Sign IIT Bombay, Dr. Pranita, who has been supporting BCP as well as Pharma Literati for in many activities actually. Beyond that, we got participation all across India, research institutions and colleges. The host institute students participate. We have undergrad students, postgrad students, researchers, master students from Bombay College of Pharmacy. We have students from various universities down south, MGR University, Long Island University, US, from Mumbai, we got a lot of participation. So this was really encouraging, as well as for us, I would say it is also challenging, because we have a varied kind of participants here, from students to researchers, from I would say the industry professionals. So it is something which is really challenging for us to make sure that every one of the participant is getting the right kind of information which may be relevant to them as well. And this was all this actually made sure that we are here today for this inaugural session of this particular 2 months online certificate course on fundamentals of drug regulatory affairs. I welcome all of you, as well as I welcome Honorable Dr. Manoj Jadhav, founder and CEO, Isha Therapeutics, based in New Jersey, USA. We have been associated since last few months, and he readily accepted the invite for inauguration of this particular program. And we are privileged because he's also a Bombay College of Pharmacy alumni. Of course, we'll have his detailed profile very soon. We are Mr. Nitin Mania, sir. Unfortunately, because of some last minute commitment, he couldn't join. The Honorable Secretary, IPMSB, Chairman, Governing Body, Bombay College of Pharmacy. Nitin Mania, sir, has been motivating us for doing these all activities as such. I also welcome Professor Krishna Iyer, sir, in charge principal, IPMSB, Bombay College of Pharmacy. He has provided us this platform to conduct this course, and we are really grateful to you, sir. This is all possible because of the coordinators and the conveners. Dr. Ujjwala Shinde ma'am, the course convener, she provided us the complete freedom to work on the course contents, as well as a lot of other things which are essential for this particular course. And welcome Dr. Clara Fernandez, the course coordinator. She's here. She has been the most, I would say, instrumental person in seeing this day of light, as well as she has been really critical in terms of her observations and the contents and all the strategy that we are actually having. And finally, welcome Rishabh. Rishabh has been an intern with us, and I must say, Rishabh has been working on this since day one. He's a student actually. He's an intern with us, and I think that's the real thing that we have actually when students are working for these kind of programs. But he has been doing it very effectively. Thank you so much, Rishabh. And I hope for all of you, actually, I wish that this course is really fruitful. The 2 months online course, wherein we would be discussing various aspects of fundamentals of global drug regulatory affairs. So that's the kind of, I would say, introductory introduction for the course. Now I request Professor Krishna Iyer sir, Honorable Principal Sir for IPMSB, Bombay College of Pharmacy, to have the welcome address. Sir, over to you.
Good evening, everyone, and I hope my sound settings are okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the inaugural session of this certificate course, which is going to impart knowledge on the global drug regulatory affairs scenario. I also take this opportunity to congratulate the team Pharma Literati, Dr. Clara, Dr. Ujjwala, Rushabh, Dr. Shiv Puje, for getting this kind of putting this into a flying start, as you would say. I also take this opportunity to say hi to Dr. Manoj Jadhav. It's been a while, and it's a pleasant surprise to have him as part of this program.
I'm here. Thank you.
Yeah. To all the students who have enrolled, the association with BCP is kind of like a mixed bag. On one hand, this association makes the course a little more difficult than normally certificate courses are. Because of the association with BCP, there is emphasis on you attending and is emphasis on you doing well, and that there is a certain level of percentage that is required for you to pass successfully or get the certificate. So, on that regard, please be warned that this certificate course is not something you can just enroll for and just at the end of the 2 months expect to get a certificate. You have to work for it. On the other hand, knowing Dr. Shiv Puja and his team, I can assure you that Dr. Shiv Puja is so passionate about these certificate courses that he goes out of the way to both address the students himself on various aspects of the areas of expertise he has, but he does a very great job of bringing together a great team from industry and other associated ventures. And these people he selects are people who have hands-on experience in the areas they're going to talk about. So from that perspective, any doubt of yours with respect to what is being talked about or discussed will be clarified very, very quickly and very, very correctly. And in that regard, I congratulate you to have chosen to enroll yourself in this course, because I can guarantee you the content, the delivery, and the level of gain of knowledge you will get at the end of 2 months will be more than the value for what you paid for. So if you can talk about value for the course, this is going to deliver much more than you expect. So with that, welcome to the BCP family, because as you enroll for this course, you become part of the BCP family. And welcome to the BCP family, and wish you all the very best. Have a wonderful learning experience and enjoy the course. And again, any doubts, any suggestions that you have, please convey it to the team so that they can address it quickly and to your satisfaction. Thank you very much, and pleasure to be with you all this evening.
Thank you so much, Krishna sir. It's always really good to listen to your words, actually, and thank you so much for the kind words as well. So moving on, I request my colleague Rishabh to introduce our chief guest for the day, Dr. Manoj Jadhav. Yes, Rishabh, over to you.
Thank you, Vijay sir. Thank you, Dr. Jadhav, for joining us today. So Dr. Jadhav is responsible for the strategic and scientific planning and business functions for the organizations. Dr. Jadhav brings more than 15 years of experience in academic and industry research, pharmaceutical drug development, and regulatory affairs experience in the US, India, with small molecules and peptide therapeutics. Before starting Isha Therapeutics, he served as the Vice President Clinical Development and Business Strategy at CRC Pharma based in Parsippany, New Jersey. He has contributed to several drug development programs for both NCEs and 505(b)(2) across different therapeutic areas. At Isha Therapeutics, he is leading a robust pipeline of novel repurposed drug development program for lifestyle and infectious diseases. He is a trained clinical pharmacologist with extensive experience in planning, designing, execution, and interpretation of clinical studies, prospective, retrospective, interventional, and observational in the area of infectious diseases, cancer, cardiovascular diseases. He was part of successful team which developed first Indian liposomal amphotericin B fungizome trademark, which is launched in Indian market. Dr. Jadhav has represented the sponsors at the US FDA for several former meetings, which include the pre-IND meetings at the Division of Anti-Infectives, Cardiovascular and Renal Product, the CNS, Dermatology, Pharmaceutical Quality, Oncology, and etc. Dr. Jadhav has over 25 peer-reviewed publications, co-edited a book, have made numerous posters and oral presentations internationally. Dr. Jadhav received his PhD in pharmaceutics from Bombay College of Pharmacy and KEM Hospital at the University of Mumbai and did his postdoctoral fellowship at the College of Pharmacy and Medicine, University of Florida, Gainesville, Florida. He did it M Pharmacy from DIPSAR, New Delhi, and he is a gold medalist. So I suppose everyone will be having a tough time with him because he'll make sure that you will do attend the courses regularly. And I also assure you that Dr. Jadhav will motivate you all throughout the session and his knowledge and the way he teaches, everyone will be enjoying the course and best of luck to everyone who has enrolled for this course. On to you, Mr. Vijay, sir.
Uh, okay, thank you, Rishabh. Dr. Manoj, over to you for your inaugural address. We'll have your technical session after the inaugural is finished. Yes, over to you.
Yeah. Thank you, Vijay and Rishabh. Good evening to everybody who are sitting in India or different parts of the India. I must first of all thank all the organizers from BCP, IPA, and Mr. Shivpujay and his team for this wonderful opportunity to be able to speak with you this evening. It's morning here in New Jersey, and it was very pleasant to see Dr. Krishna, who has been our teacher when I was doing my PhD at BCP. So good to see and be here with a different role. When earlier, almost 12, 13 years ago, I was a student at BCP. Now, today the role has changed from a student to somebody who has been invited to speak in front of the August gathering. So thank you all for giving this opportunity to be part of this important virtual course, which has a very unique content, which was just described by Mr. Vijay a few minutes ago. And before I tell you, as I said, I am a student of Bombay College of Pharmacy and KEM Hospital. So before I say, I want to express my gratitude to all the teachers, and especially Dr. Mangala Nagarsenkar madam, who was my mentor at Bombay College of Pharmacy, and Dr. Nilima Kshirsagar, who was my mentor at KEM Hospital. So because of these wonderful human beings first, and then world-class scientists, I am whatever I am. And I have reached to this stage because of the good teachings and guidance from the teachers. So my first gratitude to all the teachers. I mentioned 2 names, but there are many teachers who have taught many good things during my learning and forming years. So thank you to the teachers. And coming back to the context of this course, what I believe in last 2 to 3 years, especially since the pandemic began, the context of drug development globally has changed significantly. Why I say so? Because earlier traditionally the drug development used to be a very long and painful process which would take enormous time to create a new drug. Now in this pandemic, we have seen some of the drugs have been developed in a record time. Even it is as record as, I would say, 1/10 of the time. You must have seen how the vaccines were developed globally, like the companies like Pfizer, Moderna, even including in India, Serum Institute of India, Bharat Biotech. These companies, came forward with the most difficult job of developing some biologics, which are not even more difficult to be developed as against small molecules if we have to do head-to-head comparison. So the reason why these things have been possible is probably because of multiple factors. I would say there was an acute emergency situation globally. The whole scientific community came together to solve the mystery of this COVID-19, because there was no data about the disease, the virus, and everybody was in an evolving stage of learning, because there is no prior information about the virus and the disease, clinical sign and symptoms, and the treatment. So it is one of the it's going to go into the historical perspective to be the most challenging situation to do drug development, I would say. So while these things were happening since, or still happening globally, you must have seen, or rather the whole world became digitally and virtually connected. And why it happened? Because of the limitations of the disease, people were not able to travel from one place to another place, locally and globally. And the digitization has contributed in connecting the people very efficiently. Just for an example, the reason why you and I are talking today is because of digitization. Otherwise, in any normal conference setting, to have somebody coming from US or vice versa, it's a process. You will have to spend 2 to 3 months of coordination to see that person being part of that activity. But now here I'm talking to you because of digital context. So why I am saying so, when these drug developments were happening globally, one of the most important role played, or everybody has been made aware, is about the regulators globally. Like in India, we have DCGI, US FDA, EMA, Australian regulator, and each country has their regulatory bodies established. So the core principle and mandate of these organizations is to ensure the public health. Now, to ensure a public health in a pandemic situation, when there is no prior information about the pathogen, the disease, the treatment modalities, and so forth and so on, the regulatory agencies has played a critically important role in identifying or interacting with the sponsors first, who were trying to develop either new biologics, new drugs, or diagnostics. And all these interventions, either preventive or therapeutic in nature, needed approvals from the respective regulatory authorities. So at one point, we say that drug development was happening at a massive speed. At the same time, the regulators across the globe in each country were busy or were instrumental in ensuring that the safety and efficacy of those interventions which were under investigation have been identified and rigorously tested. So when we talk about drug development, to give you an example, again, I will give you an example of US FDA. When the vaccines like Moderna vaccines and Pfizer vaccines were in their early stages of drug development, and the things of development were happening so fast, in 10 months, 10 to 12 months, the new vaccines were given the emergency use authorization, which is very unconventional way, I would say, which has never happened in the past, that in 6 to 8, 9 months, depending on the different intervention which was being investigated, the regulators were at the forefront of interacting with the sponsors. They were discussing all the strategies at the non-clinical drug development, then CMC, which is chemistry, manufacturing and controls, at the same time clinical safety and efficacy of the intervention being investigated. So, you know, it was an interplay of, or one of the finest example of teamwork, I would say, where the scientific community globally, from academia, industry, were actively involved in identifying the potential solutions to the challenging situation, and the regulators were hand in hand interacting and complementing to the needs of the needs and the challenges the sponsors were facing. So I believe and strongly have a conviction that we as a budding scientist, young or faculty or even in industry, we must have a very good and robust understanding of regulations, what the regulators globally are thinking, because each country have their own regulation is one part, but is the data generated, say in Mumbai in a clinical trial, can be accepted in Australia or in Japan or in US. So for that perspective, see, that's why I said science is one part of the story. What you are doing, doing a good science is one part, but doing the right science, which is in line with the regulators' expectation, is important. So therefore, to have a very good and apt understanding of regulations globally or locally is as important as developing a new assay or developing or running a clinical trial, I would say. And therefore, this course, I believe, would certainly make you connect the dots across the spectrum of translational drug development, where the regulations plays critically important role while you are developing safe and efficacious interventions. So I believe the course team, which is assembled by Dr. Shiv Pujay and the faculty at Bombay College of Pharmacy, they have in-depth understanding of the subject, and they know how to bring in the finest people on board to educate the next generation or the participants of this course. So I believe all the participants will be significantly benefited by being part of this course. And as Dr. Krishna said, you know, you ask the questions, make it more interactive. The faculty will try to respond to your queries, and it's a learning process. So my best wishes to all of you for healthy learning, and ask as many questions to all the faculties, challenge each other, have a group discussion so that you get the best out of this opportunity to learn good science. So I must thank all the organizers again, and my alma mater, Bombay College of Pharmacy and KM Hospital, for all the teachings I have got during my learning years. So thank you, everybody, and good luck to each one of you for your good learning through this course. Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Manoj. It's a pleasure to listen to you, and thank you so much for highlighting the specific details required as far as the drug discovery is concerned, as well as in terms of the drug regulatory affairs and the context that you said. Due to COVID, actually, many things have changed actually in terms of development, as well as many things would have been changed at the regulatory front as well. We'll try to incorporate all those observations that you made during our course as such. So we are at the almost end of the inaugural session. I must take this opportunity to propose a vote of thanks. Firstly, I must take this opportunity to thank IPA, Maharashtra State Branch, Indian Pharmaceutical Association, the Bombay College of Pharmacy for jointly doing this course in collaboration with Pharma Literati. I must take this opportunity to thank Honorable Principal Sir, Dr. Krishna Iyer Sir, Professor Krishna Iyer Sir. I take this opportunity to thank Nitin Mania Sir. Unfortunately, couldn't join for this session because of the last minute emergency. I must take this opportunity to thank all the team of IPA, MSB, Swati ma'am, Suchita, who has been working really, I would say, hard for last few days to ensure that we are on track. I must take this opportunity to thank Dr. Ujjwala Shinde ma'am, as well as Dr. Clara Fernandez, who has been instrumental in terms of seeing this day, the inaugural session actually, or the course running as such. I must take this opportunity to thank all of you, the participants who are joined, as well as I must take this opportunity to thank all those who have also joined via the Pharma Literati YouTube channel, wherein this particular inaugural function is live. We are done with the inaugural, and we'll move ahead